Hello, hello. In this video, we are taking a look at Meta and we're going to discuss some things that we haven't touched before. We're going to take a little bit of a closer look at the Metaverse and what Facebook is currently doing with their advertising. So we're going to take a look at some stats that the company has been yielding, basically based on what they have been doing. And this is going to be super useful in order for us to realize whether Metaverse is currently getting obsolete or it's still actually a trending company or a trendy company. So let's start by taking a first look at what has been going on here. Now, Zuckerberg's net worth has dropped by 100 billion in 2022. It may even be more since this article was written, because obviously the company stock price has been falling and falling and falling. If you can go back here to our tool, you will see that it's down 67% since its 1 year high of 350 bucks. So it's currently sitting at 115, much worse than what it used to do. You can kind of see it here in the Metaverse market cap. The market capitalization, remember, it's the amount of outstanding shares that the company has multiplied by the stock price. And so basically the amount doesn't change for the most part unless the company issues or buys back shares. And so this is going down mostly because the stock price is going down, as you can understand. And it's going down and down and down. So the Metaverse and Meta and Facebook have lost a lot of its value, really, a lot of their value in their last few months. Okay. Metaverse real estate sales top 500 million. Remember that? That was February 1st, 2022. At that point, everything was still kind of booming. And so there have been sales on the Metaverse, people buying virtual land and things of that sort. And they were projected to double this year, which doesn't seem to have happened, right? So it looks like things went the other way, with the stock market pretty much crashing and the overall economy crashing. Now, in terms of virtual real estate, you can kind of see this article here, which I found, which was talking about a real estate plot that sold for a record 2.4 million. Remember, this is digital. There is nothing concrete around this one, nothing tangible. It's just a digital asset. So the person who bought this one, I'm pretty sure they are crying right now, because this, I bet money is worth actually significantly less, at least for the moment. I don't know whether this will catch up. Kind of doubtful, but you never know. Still, they did spend $2.4 million over here. Now, Meta's Horizon Worlds app is losing users and falling short of goals. If you have been looking at what has been happening with the Metaverse, if you have been watching some videos, it kind of looks like a big fail right now, a big flop so far. And you will see that Meta initially aimed to reach 500,000 monthly active users by the end of the year, but the current figure is less than 200,000, and it looks like a ghost town in there. So they need to do significantly better in order to basically surpass this goal that they had over here and start making money out of Meta and the Horizon Worlds app. Now, Mark Zuckerberg upgraded his Metaverse avatar. Remember this one? After the entire universe, the entire internet laughed at him. Remember this one? This is what he actually posted initially, which was frankly very laughable. And this actually caused a downturn in the stock price, which makes a ton of sense because it frankly looks terrible. So then he updated saying that it's going to be looking much better in the future. But of course, when you are spending tons of billions, this is sketchy to say the least. Now, Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg still, as you see here, are looking for the Metaverse business to lose even more money next year, so they don't seem to be stopping. And this can still cause some concern among investors, and people could keep dumping the stock for a while, or at least not buying as much in the upcoming quarters, just because of basically the company losing tons of money here. This is not looking great, and unless the company actually makes some money back, then I'm pretty sure people will keep dumping for a while. Now, we do bet on the company's advertising, of course, which is super strong, but we'll examine that a little bit later. Now, as you'll see, in releasing Wednesday its third quarter results, is what we saw about a month ago or so, the company disclosed it has lost more than 9 billion so far this year on Reality Labs, the segment of Facebook that handles everything Metaverse, including 4 billion in the third quarter alone. And so the segment lost about 10 billion over the whole of 2021, and it looks like it's gonna keep happening. So again, that's not looking great here for the Metaverse. This may be a big thorn in the growth of the Meta stock, I should say, of Facebook. Now, Mark Zuckerberg envisions 1 billion people in the Metaverse spending hundreds of dollars each. Of course, this is nowhere near happening at the moment. They will have to do significantly better for this to happen and actually provide some incentive for people to be there. Now, this is obviously extremely confident here, and I don't anticipate it ever happening at any point, frankly. But this is what he's looking at right now. And is he a visionary, or he is uh, basically overthinking it and basically having some delusions, frankly? We'll see. We'll see whether he will be able to achieve that. Doesn't look like it's going to be happening anytime soon, to tell you the truth. Now, Instagram beats TikTok for top app among a record 39 billion apps installed last quarter. So people forget about Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. It's still a very, very big business. And with the recent ban of TikTok, it looks like we're having Instagram potentially becoming maybe the top app for this kind of messaging, for this kind of viewers, I should say, and this kind of users. So this may actually be a pretty big win here for Facebook in the upcoming quarters or years. Interesting thing to see. This is July, but I'm having the most recent data too. So this is a little bit more visual. This is why I'm starting with this one. July 2022, you will see that Facebook is still very, very used. It's actually the third most visited website, according to SEMrush. And you will see that the first one is Google, YouTube, Wikipedia. I don't know what that is, or this. But, Twitter, Reddit, and among the well-known pretty much websites here, Facebook is still third. And also, if you take a look at the most visited websites by traffic, that's November, still the same thing. Facebook is third over here, with Twitter being fourth. Twitter actually seems to have gained over here, right? Yeah, significantly so. Okay, so revenues, because people forget. Meta has been crashing in terms of how much money they have been doing. You will see here, this is taken from our tool. From $40 billion, they went to 118 almost in 2021. So the growth is amazing, and I have the revenue growth numbers here. You can kind of see how much they have been achieving. So this is actually very, very amazing what they have been doing here. And yeah, there are some issues right now, so the growth will be going down, but there is still growth for the company. And also remember, they have lots of money in their coffers, so it's a company that has a lot of free cash flow and a lot of money at hand. So it is a free cash flow creation machine. So currently sitting at a price that is a very low multiple of its earnings, it's pretty amazing for people who are actually diligent and want to be buying these companies when there's blood in the streets, really. And what about the net income? Same story, right? I mean, this is tripling it, basically. Again, you can kind of see the growth here, which is tremendous, apart from this year. But overall, it's tremendous. It's like 30%, 20%, maybe 25% is the average, something like that, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, as you can see, this is awesome as well. And if you take it back even more, you can kind of see the previous years. Check where the company actually started, what they started with, 0.37 billion, that is, and 40 right now. So in about 11 years, they 40x'd their, or more actually, their net income, the net income even, not even the revenue. So this is amazing. This is frankly amazing over here, what they're doing. So I do anticipate that this company, when the sentiment actually kind of breaks down and we don't have this negativity, maybe they actually abandon Metaverse, or Metaverse potentially starts doing well, then I really think the company can skyrocket. Now, what about the age demographics? Because people are talking about pretty much old people using Facebook. Is that the case? So they are still consistently getting older as the app itself ages, but the majority of users are still under 35, as you'll see. So yeah, they are getting older, but the majority of users are still under 35. And as you can see here, this is the under 35. The majority, it's like 60% or something of that sort, is still under 35. And if you include the 44 age range, this is almost like 70% of the user base over here. So that's still fairly young. Okay. What about the quarterly revenue? I kind of wanted to show you the quarterly as well over here. This surpassed the 100 billion revenue in 2021 for the first time, increasing the revenue by 37% year on year. And you can kind of see pretty much every quarter over here as it has been progressing. A very nice, very nice uptrend over here. There will be ups and downs. That's very normal for every company. But you will see that overall, this has been a fantastic company over here. And Facebook versus social apps. So people are talking about other apps. People moving away from Facebook. Is that the case? Not really. As you'll see, Facebook, 2.9 billion users over here, topping companies like YouTube, for instance, here, or I should say brands like YouTube or WhatsApp or Instagram, pretty much comfortably beating them over here massively, really. It's only like YouTube and WhatsApp that are close. But again, YouTube is a big website as well, so it's owned by Google, obviously, and it's one of the companies that is also fantastic to be owning right now. You can kind of see all the other ones as well, with Snapchat actually being significantly lower than what it used to be. And yeah, Twitter may be a little bit higher right now, actually. Okay. Facebook daily active users, another thing that has been discussed, that Facebook is losing daily users. Not the case, as you'll see here, that is approximately 2 billion people access Facebook every day, either through their main app or Facebook Messenger or website. You can kind of see it here, a big uptrend, which continues to be happening. So more and more people here. So the user base is still going strong. What about the advertising profile? You can kind of see it here, what we talked about earlier. You can kind of see the males and females. A lot of males, obviously, pretty much seem to be dominating here, but females as well. So a little bit of a little bit of everything here. A little bit of males, a little bit of females, and as you can see, what we talked about earlier, it's mostly till 35 years old, and then also a pretty significant chunk at 35 and 44 years old over here. Very interesting to see. Now, to conclude this video, I want to take a look at our stock evaluation tool. Of course, we have talked about it in other videos. You can see the fairly low PE, the fairly low price to free cash flow. Of course, you can do all this. You can see all this in our tool. Patreons have full access. If you're interested, you can find a link in the description box below this video. You can kind of see that the company has been buying back shares, but what about the valuation of the stock? We're going to use our stock evaluator just briefly and see what the company is going to be doing in the upcoming years and what is worth today. So if the company actually achieves something like 8% in terms of revenue growth, 10% or 12%, this is going to be our low, medium, and high projections. That's a 5-year discounted cash flow model. And a net income margin of about, let's just even go lower, 27, 29, and 31%. Free cash flow margin, again, companies about 100%. I will go a little bit less. Let's go 80, 90, and 100. And annual return of 13%. So what's the price of the company today that makes sense to be buying the company for? And as you'll see, with the current price sitting at 115, this is a buy everywhere, really. So even at our lowest projections here, it is a buy. And as I have shown in previous videos, even if you use a 0% revenue growth here, 0% that is, remember, this is still a buy. So if the company doesn't grow at all in the upcoming 5 years, this is still a buy today. It's that cheap. And this is why I do feel that Meta, for a long-term hold, it's going to be a fantastic company to own. Now, of course, I don't know the future, but again, I'm going based off the valuation and based off the financials and the things that the company has been achieving. Looks like a great long-term hold. Now, in the short term, who knows? Maybe it could go down even lower. It really depends on the sentiment for the most part, and of course, on what they are going to be doing with the Metaverse. But I think for the long run, this is a fantastic one to hold again. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, that helps a ton, and subscribe, of course, if you're new around here. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.